Starting your day off with a take on Vegas you won't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Holly Madison.
Hi, this is William Shatner.
It is Larry the Cable Guy, and I listen. Why? Because I'm a good American. So is he. And if you don't listen to him, you need to pack up and leave this country.
This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
Welcome all guys!
Oh, yeah, what's up, everybody? Feels good to be back in studio, live back at you on a Tuesday, Sharp and Shapiro. It is the Vegas Take. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday weekend. Mine wasn't so great. A little stressful, family in town, but we won't get into that. But anyway, Chris Wynn joining us in studio as well. He normally joins us on Monday, but we did a little best of yesterday. We needed the day off once in a while. Chris, thank you for being here, my friend.
Good to be here, gentlemen.
We have a lot to get to. Going to be a fun show. Coming up, former WWE superstar wrestler Rob Van Dam's going to be joining us in studio. That's going to be in the third hour, I should say. And he's got a big event coming to Samstown, so we'll be joined by him. Also, we have an attorney that is going to be coming in studio that works for the Van Law Firm who specializes in brain injury. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL with him. Steve Lewis is his name, so he'll be joining us in hour number 3 as well. But as I mentioned, a lot to get to. We're going to get into this horrific tragedy, another shooting, another assault rifle used, another nut job who literally executed 7 people, one of whom had just moved from Las Vegas to Odessa to get away from the crime in Las Vegas. We will get to that coming up. Again, the coward governor of Texas blaming everything else but guns. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. But I want to start with this because this story, it's amazing to me. I don't think anybody who is not Mike Pence would agree that people in the LGBTQ community, I don't know if oppression is the right word, but, a lot of people over many, many years, many decades, have been attacked because of their sexuality, and for that, many of them have been afraid to come out and be who they are. So, yes, we have seen these gay parades happen, gay pride parades, and I have absolutely no problem with it. Zero. Because of what these people have had to go through their whole lives in our society, it's disgusting because of people like Mike Pence who are anti-gay and swear by their religion. If you want to do that, that's fine, but leave these people alone and let them live their lives. Well, guess what happened in Boston over the weekend? Some people are calling it a white supremacist, parade. I'm not going to go that far and call it that. But about 30 people were arrested, 4 police officers were injured. There were some counter-protesters. We'll get to that. A straight pride parade marched to City Hall at a rally over the weekend in Boston. Members of the parade said they were supporting freedom of speech and their sexuality. Listen, ask yourself this very simple question. Would this parade be happening if a gay pride parade didn't happen? The answer is obviously no. Don't you give me this garbage that it's freedom of speech and we want to be proud of our sexuality of being straight. No, the only reason why these idiots are doing this is because they're mocking people who are gay. That's exact. Make no mistake about it. Any logical person would say that. But, however, there are some people that were in this parade are saying why they were there. These idiots who have nothing better to do with their time than to go to a parade and basically mock homosexuality. Make no mistake about it. That's what they were doing. So here are a few people asked why they were there attending this parade.
All these protesters? It's their right, but it's my right to be here too.
They know that they've chosen that lifestyle. They were not created that way.
And I feel repressed as a Republican because I can't walk around my city with a MAGA hat on without getting harassed.
So a lot of these people that were there weren't even talking about sexuality, as you heard. They're talking about MAGA hats and Trump and how they're oppressed because they're Republicans.
And the Constitution, their constitutional God-given rights.
Okay, well, it is their constitutional God-given right to be at a straight parade. But do you really think they were there because they're proud of being straight? Do you really think that's why they were there?
I think that they have the right to do it.
I didn't say they didn't have the right to do it.
It's the right to assemble. It's very simple.
But you have to pose the question as to why are they doing it?
Doesn't make
what
a difference.
Is the reasoning behind it, right, Brian? You've just pointed out. You just kind of line things up, and that's going to be the burning question here. If we want to have a debate about this, okay, what's the reasoning behind the parade? Okay. And
JD, why do you think they're there?
Why are we doing this?
JD, why do you think they were there?
I think they're celebrating the fact that they are straight because they have that right.
You believe? Hold on a second.
Which is completely reasonable. There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say it was against the law. I didn't say they didn't have a right to do it. So that's to me that's not the argument. That's not an argument because I'm not making that argument. I never said that. The point I am trying to make, and I think the point many people are trying to make, including Chris, is the fact that they would not be there if not for the Gay Pride Parade. And I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Was the Gay Pride Parade the first ever parade in the history of parades?
Let's be intellectually honest about what this is. This is a giant middle finger, okay, to the LGBT community for having gay pride parades, okay? This isn't anything about being straight. Look, obviously the majority of people out in the world, on the globe, are straight, okay? We haven't had straight parades ever in the history of this planet until now because, some of these idiots in Boston want to go out there and do it, okay? There's no reason behind it, okay? Celebrate your straightness. It makes no sense whatsoever.
The only sense it makes is that many of these people out there want to, basically put down people who are homosexuals,
exactly.
okay?
It's a giant middle finger.
Yeah, so, yes, I think the majority of those people that were there are complete idiots. Maybe some of them homophobic. I'm sorry.
100%.
I think it's completely ridiculous. Now, with that being said, I do not support violence. I do not support Antifa. And there are members of Antifa that went to this event, if you want to call it that, and with one thing in mind, to be violent, to shut these people up. Now, I do not agree with that. I do not agree with going to this event for that reason, for violence. So I want to play you a little bit of audio.
It's very funny.
These are a few. No, this isn't funny at all. I think it's a joke. There's nothing funny about this.
It's very funny that Antifa, which stands for anti-fascist, anti-fascism is actually being fascist themselves by trying to stop these people from leveraging
from assembling
and utilizing their constitutional rights as American citizens.
Listen, you can protest. There's nothing.
That's so hypocritical, and that's such an oxymoron. That's why it's funny.
Well, you can protest, but no violence. There should not be any violence. Anyway, these are a few Antifa members who were protesting. We got a few people here, some audio that we want to play for you. Go ahead, Johnny.
By attempting to organize a straight pride parade, people are just trying to make fun of and or ignore the very, very real and dangerous suppression that LGBTQ plus people have gone through.
I think it's clear that there are more people who recognize that this is a ridiculous concept.
Well, it is ridiculous. I agree with them. I just don't agree with violence. And there are some Antifa members that went to this event for the sole reason of committing crime, violence. And like I said, I don't agree with that. But going back to what we said earlier, make no mistake about it. If you are going to a straight pride parade, you are mocking the gay community. That is exactly what you're doing. Don't you tell me that you're oppressed. Don't you tell me that people look down to you or look you as being different because you are straight. Because the answer is no. So cut the nonsense. And I want to go to this because to me this is really important. I talk about Mike Pence all the time because I think he's just a horrible human being. I've said that about Mike Pence forever. His wife works at a school where you're not allowed to be gay to go to school there, and you're not allowed to work there if you're gay. So stop me with this crap. Mike Pence has a history of being anti-gay. So this idiot in the White House, I know I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about Judd Deere. He is the White House deputy press secretary. He said Tuesday on Twitter that Mike Pence can't be anti-LGBTQ because he is set to have lunch with a man who is gay and his boyfriend. That would be Leo Varadkar. So he can't be gay. That's like saying, well, I'm having lunch with an African-American, so I can't be racist. That's how dumb this guy is. These are the idiots that are in the White House. Now, let me explain to you something, guys, okay? For those of you out there that don't think Mike Pence is anti-gay, in 2000, during his congressional campaign, Pence said Congress should oppose any effort to put gay and lesbian relationships on an equal legal status with heterosexual marriage. If that's not anti-gay, I don't know what is. He also supported the reauthorization of the Ryan White CARE Act only if federal dollars were excluded from organizations who celebrate and encourage behavior that facilitates spreading of the HIV virus. Pence also co-sponsored a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution that would define marriage as solely between one man and one woman. Pence voted against the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. He also voted against the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, which would have allowed LGBT Americans to openly serve their country in military service. Disgusting. He refused to say on the record if he supported a same-sex couple raising a child together. Disgusting. Pence supported HJR 3, a bill to add an amendment banning same-sex marriage to Indiana's Constitution. Folks, I could go on and read you his record because I've got about 30 or 40 more of them that shows you exactly who Mike Pence is. Mike Pence wants to push his religion on other people, and that's the way he votes with his policy. He is absolutely 100% anti-gay. As I've said before, his wife works at a school that does not allow homosexuals to go to school there or work there. How can you be more anti-gay than that? And we have this Nimrod who works in the White House. His name is Judd Deere. He is the White House deputy press secretary who said that Mike Pence can't be LGBTQ anti because he's having lunch with a man who is gay. Can you be more ridiculous than that? Make no mistake about it, folks. This parade was all about people being anti-gay. This parade was about a bunch of people who have nothing better to do with their lives. They are a disgrace as far as I'm concerned. And while I don't support Antifa, I certainly don't support morons who want to just look at people because of their sexuality and discriminate against them. Make no mistake about it. That's what Boston was yesterday, and it is sad. It is disgusting. Here's what I want to do. I want to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get your thoughts on that, Chris. JD will also take your phone calls on this. What do you think about this gay I guess you could call it anti-gay parade. That's what I would like to call it, but it was a straight parade. What do you guys think about this? You okay with this? Are you okay with straight people having parades, looking down on the gay community? We'll take your phone calls right now, 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702-257-5396. Take a quick break. Be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take. All right, welcome back. It is The Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro, so glad you could join us here. We're going to get to this horrible tragedy. More gun violence, another mass shooting over the weekend in America. And what a shocker, folks. I know, such a shocker. An assault rifle was used. But you won't hear the governor of Texas talking about that. We'll get to that coming up in a little bit. We're talking, obviously, about this straight pride parade that took place in Boston, gentlemen. And I'm sorry. I think if you have nothing better to do with your time, you have not been oppressed if you are straight. Make no mistake about it. Nobody has looked at you for being straight and you haven't gotten a job or you've been treated differently. Make no mistake about it.
But you can't have a parade unless you've been oppressed.
100%. Absolutely you can. Yes.
When a team wins a championship, a professional team wins a championship, and they have a parade, is it because they've been oppressed?
No, the reason why there are gay pride parades
have a parade to celebrate.
But JD, the reason why there have been gay pride parades, okay, is because it has been a group of people that have been discriminated against for decades, okay, and they've had to. It's been basically a movement, much like it was the women's rights movement back in the day, much like it was the movements with respect to minorities in this country. Anytime there's an issue that comes up with that. That's what we're talking about. There's straight people. Being straight is not something that has been a target of oppression, has been a target of discrimination. It just is the way most of us are in the world.
And the thing
it's not. There's no reason to have a parade for. Yeah, there's.
You don't have straight people saying that they're oppressed.
You absolutely have the right to have a parade.
Absolutely.
But the motivation comes into question, and that's why we're discussing this.
If you start thinking about
why are you having
and you want to twist it around, okay, fine. Okay. But they're not talking about being oppressed. They're just celebrating the fact that they are straight.
Okay, so let me ask you
this. Does that mean that it's a slap in the face to the homosexual community? I don't believe that it does.
Let me ask you this question then. It's a very simple question. If there were no gay pride parades, would this parade have happened? It's a simple yes or no question.
I don't know the answer to that.
You don't. You're going to hold on a second.
There wouldn't have been.
Hold on a second,
Brian.
You're going to look me in the eye, JD, and you're going
absolutely.
to absolutely.
A lot of parades take place for a lot of reasons. I do not know the answer to that.
Okay, so I have another very simple question. Okay, then how come the first quote unquote straight parade takes place in 2019?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why in 2019? There's been straight people around since the day life began. Okay, and now in 2019 we haven't had a straight parade.
How can you honestly say that if not for gay pride parades, I'm sorry, I just don't know how you could say I don't know. The answer is no, clearly.
And that means it's a slap in the face? It doesn't. It just means, again, they're celebrating the fact that they are straight.
And they're doing it because of these gay pride parades.
You don't know that for a fact. How could you say
JD, it's
that
a
for
counter
a fact?
to the gay pride parades.
It is not.
Why aren't they doing something else besides JD? Why aren't they doing something else besides a parade? Why don't you do like just a ceremony or have a
right to
or have a barbecue or something?
That is it.
Why is it a parade?
We are not arguing.
You guys are overthinking it. You're trying to turn it into something that it's not, and it's not anything like that, in my opinion.
No, I'm asking the question why. What is the purpose of it?
That's my isolated opinion.
I'm just asking the simple question of what is the purpose of a straight parade?
What's the purpose of it, JD? Forget about the Constitution. We're not arguing about the Constitution.
I've answered that
whether or not they can do it or not. I'm just asking why do you have it?
To celebrate the fact that they are straight.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? JD, come on, man. Come on. You think that people woke up and said, you know what? I want to celebrate the fact that I'm a man and I like women. Or a woman wakes up and I want to celebrate the fact in 2019 that I'm straight.
How about,
you know what? I'm going to have a parade next week. I'm going to invite my friend Steve Sanchez and others who are rich, and I'm going to have a rich parade. And we're going to celebrate how rich we are.
How about I want to celebrate the fact that I am a father. How about I want to celebrate the fact that I am a mother? Let's see, Father's Day, Mother's Day. This is not a new concept. This happens all the time.
How can you compare Mother's Day and
It's
Father's
a holiday.
Day?
You're talking about a holiday. It's a little bit different.
That's completely different. Okay, I'm sorry. The number to call, by the way, if you want to be a part of the conversation, 702. And can I give out the number?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. 702-257-5396.
I'm reaching across the studio right now, and I'm handing JD a shovel so he can shovel himself out.
Let me give out the number one more time. 702-257-5396. How about we take a couple calls on this, right?
I'm just not going to create something out of nothing like you guys are trying to. I just refuse to do that.
Well, they had a parade.
But that's fine.
We're talking about the fact that they had a straight parade. That's what.
I don't know what you mean, create something out of nothing. I mean, I don't understand what that means. 257-5396 is the number to call. 30 people were arrested. It's a national story. It's all over the world what took place in Boston. I don't think this is a nothing. This certainly is a story.
And would people have been arrested if Antifa didn't come in and try to be fascist? Probably not.
I don't know, but I did 5 minutes on that saying that I did not support what they did. So I don't know what you want me to say. I already said I don't support what they did, and I don't support violence. 257-5396. Brady, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
What's up, Brady?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I want to bring up the fact about the parade. You know, why are you guys so against what creation is? All they're doing is celebrating life. All these other ones that are out there doing this, the gay pride and all that, that's anti-nature.
No, it's not. So, that's ridiculous. That's an idiot. You sound like Manny Pacquiao. That is an idiotic comment. First of all, if we are all created equal, what should it matter what our sexuality is, Brady? If you want to play that route.
No, it doesn't matter, but don't go after the people that are straight.
Gay people are not going after straight people. What are you talking about? That doesn't happen.
You're asking why they had a parade?
Yes.
Who cares what the reason is? Because they wanted to. How's that answer?
Brady, that's the wrong answer. If you say who cares, that's the wrong answer. And by the way, you said the reason why. You just started your phone call off by saying the reason why they had the parade is because they're, quote unquote, celebrating life. What the hell does that mean? That's the most general statement I've ever heard. What does that mean, though?
So Brady,
you can have it every day. You can have it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you want. You can celebrate life.
Why are you offended? Why are you offended because they're having a parade?
Let me ask you a question.
I'll tell you why people are offended, Brady, because it is taking attention away from the attention seekers.
I'm not offended. I'm just annoyed that they're giving the middle finger to the.
So Brady, let me ask you a question. Brady, let me ask Brady a question. Obviously, he is a big Trump supporter. I would imagine he's a big Mike Pence supporter. So Brady, do you think Mike Pence? I'm going to use your term. Do you think he's celebrating life when his wife works at a school that does not allow homosexuals to go to school there or to work there? Do you think Mike Pence is celebrating life when his position clearly stands that he's not to support two men raising a child or two women raising a child? Do you think Mike Pence is celebrating life when he does not want gay marriage to happen? Do you think that is a quote-unquote celebration of life, or are you going to give me another dumb answer like you usually do?
It's a celebration of his Christian values.
Answer the question. Then that's his own personal. Hold on a second. That's his own. That's his own. Hold on. That's his own. That's his own. That's his own personal values.
Pull your pants up.
Excuse me. That's his own personal values. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But this is not personal. He's making it into policy. Why don't you get your head out of your ass and figure out what I'm trying to say?
I got the policy. I don't like Mr. Pence anyways, so first off, I don't want Pence there. I wish he'd get replaced. Second off, I know he's a very staunch Christian, so he does have some...
No, he's a staunch idiot. He's a staunch idiot is what he is.
Listen, you people on the left.
I'm not on the left. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the left.
Brian, what is a staunch idea? I don't know. I'd like you to please confirm that for me.
What did you say, Brady?
We're never. We're never Trumpers, Brady.
So now
not
you're,
anti-Trumpers.
so now you're
never
talking
Trumpers.
about Talib, who, by the way, I can't stand because you are misinformed, my friend. And what a shocker! What a shocker! We're talking about a straight pride parade. You bring up Talib and Omar, another uninformed Trump supporter. What a shocker!
Hey,
what
great,
a shocker!
Hey, great call, Brady.
No, what was great about that call?
Anyways,
No, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. We got to take a break.
Awful.
What was great about that call? We have 30 seconds. What was great about Brady said? I want to ask you that.
I thought he expressed his opinion very well.
You thought he talking about Omar
he definitely
and Talib?
expressed his opinion. He did definitely.
So bringing up Omar and Talib is expressing it has nothing to do with the straight pride parade. Brady has no idea what he's talking about. All he does, people want to call it Trump derangement syndrome. He has Trump fellatio syndrome. I'll just call it that. Brady, you have Trump fellatio syndrome, okay? The number to call, 257-5396. 257-5396 is the call. Anyone who gives me a call like that, it's Trump fellatio syndrome. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. 257-5396. You are listening to The Vegas Take. All right, welcome back. It is The Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. And that sound means we're talking about the GCI Guys Realty One Group. And listen to this. If you or anyone you know thinking of buying a home or moving from Cali, the GCI Guys, they're going to take care of you. Service is completely free. You pay them nothing, and our listeners get $1,000 in your hand at closing. So let's get this right. If you or someone you know wants to buy a home and calls Realtor Lee Goldberg, it's free for his services and get $1,000 back at closing. But wait, there's more. Yes, there's a lot more. A free moving truck for a day and 6 free months of home security. Wow, that's pretty cool. There are no hidden fees or games. The GCI Guys are a free educational resource. Call them, 702-902-3029. Free, and get $1,000 back. Why wouldn't you call the GCI Guys? Great friends of the show. By the way, Lee Goldberg will be joining us in studio on Friday. The number to call if you want to be a part of the show, 702-257-5396. We're talking, of course, about this straight pride parade. And by the way, I think I'm going to trademark what I just said. Everybody wants to talk about Trump derangement syndrome. If anybody calls me that, I'm going to tell you you have Trump fellatio syndrome. I am trademarking that. 702-257-5396.
All these new medical conditions coming out that we're finding out. It's amazing.
It is. 257-5396 is the number to call. We're talking about, as I said, the straight pride parade, and I think a bunch of nitwits, a bunch of morons that showed up to this parade. Really what they're really doing here, in my personal opinion, and I know JD disagrees, but I believe what they are doing is they are just mocking the gay community. Let's take some phone calls. Keith, thank you for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind?
What's up, Keith?
Oh, man, I'm sure glad that commercial break was pretty long to help me calm down a little bit. Dude, you are just ruthless against other people's views.
No, I'm ruthless.
Well, we're ruthless for our own views.
I would say that's probably pretty accurate.
Actually suggesting a freaking sexual thing that you're going to trademark just kind of shows your IQ level.
Okay, thank you, Keith. Keith, what do you?
Going very well.
Hey, Keith.
So he starts the phone call off with 2 insults. It's beautiful.
Yeah, guys, let me have a very pleasant conversation with Keith, if that's okay. Keith, what do you do for a living, my friend? I'll be very nice to you, Keith.
I'm sure what you're going to try and do is aggravate me, and then
no, not at all. I'm being Keith.
You started the phone call off. You started the phone call off,
Chris.
Keith,
I can defend
by
myself.
Throwing out 2 insults.
You gotta let me talk to this guy.
You just kind of talk over your.
That was Chris. That was Chris Wayne.
That was me, actually.
That was Chris, Keith. So pay attention. Let's focus. It's you and me,
no,
Keith.
I know.
Okay.
I know you're gonna call me some names again.
I haven't.
Like
Okay, you keep saying what I'm going to do. Would you like to have a conversation or not? Because I'll hang up on you if you don't want to have a conversation.
Oh, I'm sure you can hang up on me. No,
Okay,
I'd love to have a conversation.
okay, thank you so much. Now we've established that. Answer my question. What do you do for work?
I do several things. I'm an armed bodyguard in town.
Okay.
And I'm also in the union.
Very nice. I'm happy to hear that. Where did you go to college?
I actually marry people here in the Las Vegas Valley as well.
Don't really care about that, but I appreciate that information. Where did you go to college?
As a married man, I do care about that.
I appreciate that.
I just wanted to finish that.
I appreciate that. Where did you go to college, my friend?
Are you trying to demograph me? Is what it is?
Why can't we have a conversation? You know so much about me.
We were talking about the parade.
So you don't want to tell me where you went to college? You don't want to tell me if you have a college degree or not? Is that what you're trying to say, Keith?
No, I do not have a college degree.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to counter. Okay, hold on. I'm going to counter to what you said. I do have a college degree. I've been in radio 20 years, and I'm smarter than you. I have a higher IQ than you. What do you think about that? So you're the dummy, not me.
What you mean.
You see what I mean? Why don't you go back to college and get your degree, you jackass? Have a nice day. say. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. No wonder why Keith didn't want to answer if he went to college or not. Why are you asking me so many questions? Well, let me tell you something, buddy. And by the way, yes, you do have Trump fellatio syndrome. Yes, I'm making it sexual, Keith. Mr. Homophobe.
I don't even think he mentioned Trump once in that call.
No, but he talked.
You're making a pretty serious assumption there, Brian.
He started the show.
But
and he
assumptions are okay as long as you make them.
He started the show. He started the show. I should say he started the call, not the show.
Yeah.
He started the call, and he insulted my intelligence, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm very secure with my intelligence. I'm not Albert Einstein. But if he's going to do that, I wanted to learn a little bit about him since he knows so much about me.
Here at the Vegas Take, we take mandatory online IQ tests at least once a week.
No, but I can tell you one thing. If he had a point to make about this straight pride parade, he could have made it right away instead of trying to insult me. He could have done that. But I find it very interesting.
Were you trying to demonize his profession and his education?
No.
Because that's kind of impressive.
Not at all. But if he wants to insult my IQ, which I didn't insult his IQ, he started the phone call by doing that. I wanted to get a little bit of history on Keith. That's all. Keith was embarrassed to admit that he does not have a college degree. Not to say you can't be smart.
You know what, Brian? I don't have a college degree.
Not to say, but you also didn't call me stupid. So, he called me dumb. So if he wants to go mano-a-mano with resumes on intelligence, I'll gladly do that with Keith. Keith, I hope you could take a couple deep breaths, buddy. Relax, and maybe you could call another time and maybe start that phone call a little better, and I will gladly have a debate with you, my friend, okay? But he sounds like...
I wanted to ask Keith what type of weapon he carried as an armed bodyguard, but we didn't get to that point.
I don't know.
I bet you it's more than a musket, JD.
I hope it is.
For the record, I'm not...
I doubt it's an assault rifle.
Yeah. For the record,
I don't think it's an AR-15.
For the record, I'm not comfortable with anybody having a gun that suffers from Trump fellatio syndrome. The number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation...
So I guess the military. No one in the military. They can't have guns.
I didn't say that. The number to call, I was making a joke. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Obviously, we're talking about this straight pride parade, and I ask everybody this question. If you're going to a straight pride parade... and you're celebrating being straight. I don't know why, by the way, you would celebrate that. But if you're an idiot and you want to celebrate being straight, well, I'm a man and I like a woman, so I'm going to go to a straight pride parade. If you're one of those people, I ask you this question. Would you be going to this parade if it wasn't for these gay pride parades and the history of this country? There are people in other countries that are stoned and killed if they're homosexuals. Now, luckily, we don't have that here. However, there have been hate crimes in this country where someone has come out as being gay and they have been killed because of their sexuality. Please find me one person ever in the history of this country that was killed because he was straight. Now, a murder is a murder. Don't get me wrong. I don't care what the reason is. Murder is wrong. But again, find me one person that was ever killed or murdered in this country of the United States of America, or anywhere for that matter, for one reason and one reason only, because they were straight. Many people have died because of their sexuality. The number to call, 257-5396, 702-257-5396.
But, Brian, you're forgetting about the gay lesbian assassins corps that's out there that is just, knocking off heterosexuals left and right. You don't know about that? You're not aware of that?
Wait, is that Fox Force 5?
Yes. I think it's one of the. I think that is the setup. That is what they call them. But you're saying people haven't been killed because they're straight. That hasn't happened. Come on, Brian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that's.
Well, I'll tell you what has happened. A straight guy has, or a straight woman has had relations with another straight woman or man, and that person has been married, and death has resulted because of that.
100%.
Absolutely,
it's happened.
So,
yes.
What do you call that?
Murder. Like Brian just pointed out, there's murder out there. There's premeditated murder.
Absolutely.
There's all types of murder.
That's murder predicated on heterosexual adultery.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. That doesn't really have anything to do with LGBT community or anything like that.
What I'm trying to tell you is you cannot look at me with a straight face. In our society, you cannot say you would rather be born gay than straight. For many of these people, I believe it is not their choice. There's nothing wrong with that. It is physiological chemistry, something going on in your body. And I don't care, quite frankly, what people do in their personal lives. I don't care what their sexuality is. I don't care. Now, if you do care, then live your life the way you want to live it. Okay? If Mike Pence believes that being gay is this horrible sin, if Mike Pence believes that no man should be having a conversation with his wife because it's just against, fine. I don't have a problem with him living his life like that. But don't push it on other people. And when you have a straight parade, and don't give me this stuff like, well, the people that are doing the gay parade, they're pushing their beliefs on others. No, they're not. They're trying to say, look, we are finally happy that we can say who we are in society, and we're not afraid to do it anymore. And I support them in doing that. Because make no mistake about it, being gay in our society, you are looked at differently, period. There's no way around it. There are plenty of bigots out there. There are plenty of people out there that call themselves, religion, Jesus Christ, God.
Do you think people that are 6'11" are looked at differently?
Completely different scenario, completely different situation.
They are, but
okay?
yeah, it is a different scenario.
Has anyone been killed? Has there ever been a hate crime to someone who is 6'11" because of his height? It doesn't make any sense. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Or has there ever been anything? Have you ever heard about a little person being knocked off because they're a little person?
Can somebody who is over 6'10" not marry somebody because of their height? Has that ever happened? I'm asking you, JD. Has that ever happened?
No, there's no height requirement.
Okay, so that's why I don't think it's a fair equivalent.
Or height discrimination.
That's why I don't think it's a fair
false
equivalent.
equivalency.
Yeah.
But they stand out.
Well, without question.
A lot of
people stand out for all kinds of reasons. You can stand out.
There's nothing unusual about it.
You can stand out for having a disability. You can stand out for, you can stand out for your race. You can stand out for all kinds of reasons.
And for the record, I think that what Mike Pence's wife, the school that she works at, is completely ridiculous, but it is legal.
I never said it was illegal.
I don't think you can,
because it is a private school, and I think it probably should be illegal, but for the time being, it is legal.
But JD, I don't think you can confuse.
So would you have a problem,
Mike or Karen Pence with being friendly with the LGBT community?
Would you have a problem with a Muslim parade or a Christian parade or a Catholic parade? Would that be an issue?
Again,
no, because they have them, and there's a reason behind why they have them, and it's not because they have any animus towards any other group of people. It's just because they're celebrating whatever it is that they are. But this is a
how is this any different?
But the point I just made earlier, what is this phenomenon about being straight is not a group of people.
Why can't you assume that
are celebrating?
Why can't you assume that a Muslim parade is a big FU to the Christian community?
Because they're celebrating, being followers of Islam. They're not. Has nothing to do with Christianity.
And these people that are heterosexual are celebrating the fact that they are heterosexual.
And it's nothing to do with homosexuals. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Nothing. You don't think any of these straight people that are showing up to these parades?
You're trying to make the direct comparison, and it doesn't.
It's definitely possible, but I don't know for a fact. I'm not going to say that they are doing that for that reason.
Did you hear the audio?
Just like it's possible that the Muslim, assuming there was a Muslim parade, that several of those Muslims were very, very hateful towards Christians. That's very, very possible.
Right,
but I can't definitively state that, and I'm not going to make an assumption based on it because they're having a parade, which, again, is their constitutional right. It would be different if it was like a petition that was totally illegal. This is something totally legal in the United States of America, and it should be.
I never said it was illegal for like the 30th time. That was not my argument in this conversation. It's completely illegal. You're absolutely right.
And it has nothing really to do with the point. That's not really the point, whether or not it's legal
Listen,
or not.
it's also legal. It's
America. You can't have it.
It's also legal to go on a public sidewalk with a sign that says, I hate gay people. You can do that too. It doesn't make it right. Okay? It doesn't make it right just because it is legal. It is legal for me to go on the sidewalk out there and say, I don't know, I hate a race. I hate a gender. It's perfectly legal. It's within my rights. And by the way, right now, and we're going to talk about this coming up in the next segment, it's perfectly legal to have some of these weapons of war. But ask some of these families of these people that died in Texas how they feel about that.
And quickly, Brian, to lock in on what JD's pointing out as far as their motivation, saying, oh, look, we don't know what their motivations are. Some of these people
and so I'm not going to assume.
Parade. No, let me finish my statement. To lock in on that, okay, look, I don't have it in front of me. Don't have the audio, okay, but I do have a recollection of one of the founders of this quote-unquote straight parade in Boston is a guy who is absolutely anti-LGBT, okay?
Absolutely.
And his motivations are to, basically, yes.
To incite.
To incite, not to incite, but not to incite any violence or anything like that. But he has views that are anti-gay. Okay, so let's not be intellectually dishonest and try to act like this is just something where they're promoting their straightness. Okay, because I'm, as a straight man, don't understand why you need to go out and do that, as you just pointed out, Brian,
right.
5 minutes ago, as to why do we have to point out that we're straight men or straight women.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's take some phone calls at 257-5396. Again, that number, if you want to be a part of the show, 257-5396. And we are talking about this straight pride parade in Boston. Some of us disagree in studio, and that's fine. It's good to have these types of conversations. Let's go to Carmen. Carmen, thank you for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind?
What's up, Carmen?
Yeah, good morning. No, I'm going to say for you, playground. It's all, you're talking about promoting deviance and immorality. You don't learn that in school.
What do you mean deviance and immorality? Hold on.
So you're judging the LGBT community?
What are you saying?
Well, absolutely. I went through all that.
Okay, well then,
You know?
you're already destroying your argument. You're already destroying it.
In life when you have to grow up.
Hold on a second.
all right.
Chris, hang on a second. What do you mean grow up? You're saying gay people are deviant?
Grow up, spiritually. You need to grow up spiritually.
I'm asking you a question, Carmen. Answer the question. You think being gay is being deviant? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, well then you're an idiot. Then you're a hateful person.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you're
you're
deviant. I bet you're deviant. I bet you've cheated on your wife 30 times. You're deviant. Bye-bye, Carmen. You're deviant. Bye-bye. You're the deviant one. 257-5396. Let's go to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
What's up, Brian?
Hi, good morning. Well, I'm hearing your conversation. I'm a first-time caller, by the way. I've been listening to your radio for a while now.
Thank you, Brian.
But about this straight pride parade, I'm normally from California, so I would always see the LGBT parades. I'm a Christian, so I have my own beliefs. So when I would, this is America. If you want to be gay, be gay.
Right.
It's not my problem. That's your business, not my business, whatever.
We agree.
Cool.
We agree.
But what would disappoint me would be when I'm walking with my little brothers, and then I see the parade, and I'm like, okay, I'll let them be. But they're running around with like dildos and all that, and I'm like, oh man, that's not normal.
Well,
so,
I wouldn't say that's not normal.
Yes,
You do realize
that's very normal.
No, listen.
Especially in public.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't want to get too graphic here, Brian, but let me ask you a question. You're a straight man, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if you went to a strip club or you're with your girlfriend and somebody used one of those devices, we need to be PG-13 here, Brian. I'm sure you understand. Would you find that to be weird? Would that be weird for you?
Because I am a Christian, I don't go to strip clubs and all that. And I understand that those are objects used in private or for private matters.
Okay, so your issue is that. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Red, but I'm just trying to, because I got to get to some other calls. But what you're saying is you just don't like it in public. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't like that they're shoving it in front of our faces and in front of little kids.
Okay, that's fair. Well, that's fair. Brian,
you walk into a strip club because you're expecting that. You're subjecting yourself to that type of stuff.
Listen,
in public, it's a whole different conversation.
Brian, listen, I agree with you.
I totally agree.
I agree. I think that's inappropriate in public. So we agree on that, Brian, and I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. He eloquently made his point. And
it's a public decency thing is what he's talking about.
Good call, Brian.
I don't agree with that. 257-5396. Ron, you're next. What's going on?
What's up, Ron? Don't scream.
Good morning, gentlemen. What a great topic.
Don't scream.
Okay, let me give you a little history. Back about 20 years ago, I was up in Seattle, Washington, and they had a gay pride parade.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? They had floats. It was a good parade. It was like 4,000 people.
Ron, why were you there?
But here's my point.
Yes.
You see, some
Are you
guys
trying to
were
judge
wearing
Ron for being gay, Brian?
Some guys were wearing bikinis. That's all they were wearing.
Okay.
And there was children along the sidewalk watching us.
Okay. Well, first of all,
I'm sure in a straight parade, nobody was wearing a bikini.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question, Ron.
Do you ever go to the beach?
I bet there were a lot of bro tanks, though.
I can't finish what I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, we're pressed for time.
That is the difference between the two different kinds of minds.
So you have a problem with a man wearing a bikini as opposed to a woman because that is your sexual preference, Ron.
Wearing makeup, yeah, sure.
So if somebody wants to wear, I don't understand. If somebody wants to wear makeup, man or woman, what do you care?
Public, man.
So you have a problem with a man wearing makeup, but not a woman. Is that what you're saying, Ron? Don't you think that's a double standard?
I have no problem with women. I love women.
That's not what I asked you. That's not. I'm asking you a question. Okay, Ron's not listening. Ron's not listening to me. I asked him a specific question, which was women wearing makeup. You don't have a problem with that, but you have a problem with men wearing makeup. That's your sexual preference. That's fine. But there's nothing wrong with a man putting on makeup. Who cares? 257-5396.
Thank you for not screaming, Ron.
Let's go to John. John, I believe you're next on the Vegas Take. John, thanks for calling in, John. What's on your mind, my friend?
What's up, John?
Good morning. I just want to make an observation here through my life. I've seemed to notice that people who scream the loudest, like, you're stealing, or you may be cheating on me, a lot of times are the ones doing it. So
I agree.
These straight guys that are screaming the loudest, what do they got in their closet? What are they worried about?
John, that is the best point anyone has made, including myself, in the first hour, my friend. You win. If I had a prize to give you, I would, John. You are absolutely right. John, let me add something to what you just said. I do find, and I'm trying not to generalize here, but I do find it is some priests, for example. Some of the most ultra-religious people in the world are some of the people that commit the worst crimes. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, because they have that guise of respectability they can hide behind and point the finger elsewhere. But the ones who scream the loudest usually have the most dirt in the closet.
The ones who
I totally agree.
You're right.
It's not your business to keep their mouth shut.
You're right.
Why are you screaming so loud?
So do you think Mike Pence is gay? Do you think?
You know what I mean?
Do you think there's a chance Mike Pence might be gay?
Huge. That dude is so in the closet. There's 6 doors you got to go through to get to him.
Wow.
John, I love you. Thank you for calling. Call back anytime.
He's also making reference to religious leaders who have been caught in public bathrooms, right, doing things that they have been preaching against for years, and then we find out they're hypocrites.
It's pretty well established. It's pretty well established that a lot of deviant pedophilia, terrible behavior has been taking place in the Catholic.
Exactly.
In the Catholic Church for
Can I just say
a
something?
long time.
Can I just say something? JD, that was a good call. That was a good call.
Yeah, because he agreed with you.
Of course.
No,
exactly.
he had his own. He had his own point of view.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily agree with Brian. It was just his point of view.
I'm just having fun. Don't get angry at me. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDAWN.